LucidSound LS50X by Snoop Dogg, the numbered edition. And according to this, I have the 3293rd edition. I was looking online and I ended up buying a pair myself. These are the LS41s, and I've owned these for about 6 months now, and they sound great. The bass sounds really good. Here's the headset itself. Really nice looking headset. All of this is chrome metal, including the rest of the band on the inside. It's also metal. Very foamy, soft ear cups. And you got your volume knobs here as well on both sides. This button right here that you press in is for muting gaming audio. And on this side is the button to mute your microphone. What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be doing a review of the LucidSound LS50X Snoop Dogg Edition, and I'm also going to be doing a short comparison between this headset and the LS41, also by LucidSound. Alright guys, so the first thing I want to start with, of course, aesthetics. These are much nicer looking versus these guys. These are just kind of a plain color. Still works though. I mean, a lot of people are more comfortable wearing this type of headset outside, you know, in public, you know. They're a lot less flashy. Still though, these look great. I mean, even outside, I don't think you'd be too embarrassed to be wearing this headset out there. And also, I would like to mention something that I've mentioned in a previous video, is that the wheels on both sides do a continuous spin. Of course, software based, you will get a notification by Snoop Dogg himself letting you know when you reach the end or the limit or whatever. And versus these guys, these have a physical stopper. Eventually you'll come to a stop. Other things are other features like Bluetooth. You got Bluetooth in these guys. They also connect via wireless through the dongle, like I mentioned before, which is this guy right here. This is the dongle that comes with this headset. And the dongle that comes with the LS41 is this one right here, which has a cable that stands out. It's all USB, same as the other one, except this one has another feature that the other one doesn't have. This has a separate port right up here. It's a little hole for an optical cable, which also comes included in the package. This is so you can get Dts Surround Sound, or Dts X as they call it. That's with your console, if you're going with a console setup, mainly for the PS4. And also it works with PC. One of the features though that you don't actually get with it is Dts X Surround Sound. Although I am able to play with spatial sounds for PC, which is a cool feature. I also have DTS for that as well. Now, one of the things about this one, especially not having an optical port for an optical cable, is that everything just has to go with the USB dongle. It works great with console. Spatial sounds work as well. You know, you get Windows Sonic and Dolby Atmos. Mostly these are for Xbox, which is why it works just fine. But one of the features that I noticed that doesn't seem to work with PC is the spatial sounds. You don't get Dolby Atmos for PC, although supposedly you can. I just haven't had any luck with that yet. The only thing I was able to get was Windows Sonic with it. Now with this one, like I said earlier, you can get all three spatial sounds: Windows Sonic, spatial sound, and Dolby Atmos, and DTS X on bound. So one other cool feature that I would actually like to mention before I forget is the replaceable ear cups. Now, it's possible with both of these headsets. I'm not really sure with the other ones. I'm not very familiar with them, but I'm sure that you can. Alright, so the way you do it is just pull the ear cup out, and just replace it if you have an extra one, like just in case these wear down or whatever, if they break. Another thing that I actually like is that you can still mix and match. So you can pull the ones off of the LS41 and place them on the LS50X, like so. Although I know it's not really that attractive. It looks a little bit ugly. But the reason that I sometimes like to do that is because the LS41 comes with cool gel on the inside of the ear cup for long gaming. It doesn't get so hot. Versus these guys, it's just a soft padding. I believe it doesn't have cool gel. These are more of a mesh material on the inside, and these are just soft material. All right. So the EQ settings on this one are 5 of them. One of them is the signature sound from LucidSound. Then there's bass boosted. And there's Snoopdelic EQ setting, which I'm not really sure what that is exactly, but you know, I'll maybe test that out a little bit more later. And then there's a movie mode, and the last one is no EQ at all. Of course, Snoop Dogg will tell you each one every time you click on the EQ setting. And this one right here also has up to like 4 EQ settings. 3 of them are stereo settings. One is normal stereo, the other is stereo wide, and the last one is stereo front. And then when you use the optical cable for Dts X Unbound or whatever, you get other options like 7.1 surround sound. Now when you use the dongle with the optical cable, you get other settings, which are surround sound 7.1. But I won't go too much into depth on that, since the review is not really about this one, it's mostly about this one. And now that I mentioned that, I'm going to go ahead and start with the review. The sound sounds just like I expected it to. Sounds great. You get a bit more bass with these guys. One other thing is that they're a bit louder as well. They still sound the same as these as far as audio quality. You still get really good highs, mids, and lows. Although, like I said earlier, you get much better lows in this one. So now I just want to talk about the issue that I was having with the LS50X while using the USB dongle. So one thing that I noticed is that when plugging it to my PC, the only spatial sound that I get is Windows Sonic. I don't get Dolby Atmos and DTS Unbound. I think I mentioned that earlier. But then I also noticed that they have a little hole over here where you just press the button in for like 3 or 4 seconds, I believe, and it'll activate synchronized mode. And you can do the same thing for the headset, kind of like a Xbox controller. You hold down the power button for about 5 to 7 seconds or something like that, and then it'll synchronize whatever device is searching for signal, which would be this USB dongle. Now these two are very compatible, but I noticed that you can also synchronize it to the LS41 USB dongle while doing the same steps. And so I did that. And the thing I noticed is that when this USB dongle is connected to the LS41, I get all spatial sounds, being Windows Sonic, Dolby Atmos, and DTS Unbound. And this guy, when I synchronize this to this dongle, I lose all spatial sounds. And I tried that vice versa. I connected this headset, or synchronized, this headset to this dongle, and then all spatial sounds are available. So at first I thought it was an issue with the dongles not recognizing spatial sound on PC. But then once I mixed and matched, I noticed that spatial sound does become available depending on which headset you're using. So then it led me to believe in the end that maybe the LS50X needs a firmware update, probably. I'm not sure. But yeah, it turns out the dongle is not really the issue. It's the headset for some reason doesn't recognize spatial sound. The only unfortunate part about that is I actually at one point thought that maybe I can just synchronize this headset to work with a dongle for the LS41, but then all features weren't fully functional. Like for example, the volume, it wouldn't turn all the way up, and same thing for this one, volume wasn't working very well. So unfortunately I ended up having to keep the proper dongle that goes with the headset. So then maybe in the future, LucidSound will hopefully, you know, do an update or something that will probably make that available. I was emailing LucidSound about that issue, and you know, I got responses from Micah, which, you know, I was really glad. The guy that works at LucidSound, and he was doing his best trying to help me with that issue, but there was only so much he can cover. He did say that Dolby Atmos does become available if you go through the settings in Dolby Atmos to match your headset to work with the setting. And I tried that, but it didn't work for me. Maybe it was something that I did wrong. I don't know. Maybe someone else out there is having issues with that, or if nobody is having issues with it, then it's just me. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. But besides that, that was the only issue I was having with it. No manufacturing issues. Everything is solid. Nothing broke, nothing cracked or whatever. Same thing with the older headset. Everything's still working fine. I know there's still people out there complaining that the hinges are cracking or whatever, but you know, maybe it's because they're not being very careful with them. I don't know. I'm just really careful with my things so they don't break as easy. And other than that, that's all I really gotta say. I mean, I hope you guys liked that short review. I know it wasn't really in-depth, but you know, they sound great. If you don't want to go something this expensive, you can go with the LS41, which is like $200 unless you go Amazon. You might find them cheaper. And then they got older models, you know, the LS31s, the LS30s, LS40s, you know, depending on what exactly you're looking for, what console you want it to be compatible with and stuff like that. But, you know, they get cheaper the older models you go with, but they still sound great. Other than that, I believe that's it. Hope you like this short review and comparison that I did. Maybe I'll make another video about another headset. Who knows? But thank you guys, and have a good time or day. Have a good day.